happens when you have been through so much with the twin flame on the 3D plane that you have developed resentment towards them? How do you move forward? And should you even move forward? How do you get rid of the feelings of resentment, and why are you feeling them? This was a requested video by one of you. If you have any topics that you would like me to discuss, please leave me a comment down below and I will create content for you. And please don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons if this video resonates with you. If you have resentment as a symptom karmic lesson in this incarnation and are feeling it, I ask you to stop this video and take a moment to write down all of the reasons that you're resentful. Just pick one topic and write all of the reasons why you're resentful about it. When it comes to resentment, the crux of the issue is actually control. For example, if you're resentful that the twin ran away over and over again, it's because your ego feels like it didn't have control over the situation. If you move deeper and get to the more nitty-gritty reasons of what about them running makes you resentful, such as they hurt you, you trusted them, they promised they wouldn't again, there's a third party involved, etc. Again, the issue at the base is control. Your ego feels like it couldn't control its emotions for the runner, and then they ran and hurt you. You had no control over it. Anything regarding resentment, from the twin flame to friends to parents and how you were raised, all has to do with your ego feeling like it at some point had a lack of control. What this does ultimately is put the body into fight or flight mode, and the brain feels unsafe. So it creates resentment as a protection measure in order to keep whatever it is that hurt you at bay. I know that if you're a chaser, you perceive the runner as having caused you pain. And I know that if you're the runner, you're causing yourself immense pain all the time. But you can choose to either have resentment about it, which is the ego holding on to its belief that it can be in control, or you can submit to that control and say, okay, next time I won't have so many expectations. And yes, you did have them. If you're saying you didn't, then you're not being honest with yourself. Interestingly enough, the chaser and the runner feel resentment during different times in the twin flame journey. The runner, if they have resentment as a symptom karmic lesson, will feel it during reunion with the chaser. This is because, precisely as I stated above, the chaser has so many expectations towards the runner that they become resentful of that fact. The runner is healing during reunion, and when the chaser is consistently pushing for more, or a faster time frame, or a specific way of acting, or a certain title, the runner will become overwhelmed. And what happens when we become overwhelmed? We feel like we're not in control. All of that triggering will lead the runner to do two things: run and feel resentment. The chaser, on the other hand, feels resentment during separation because they have just been left. Again, they are resentful that they trusted the runner again. They are resentful that the runner chose a third party over them. They are resentful that the runner can't get their shit together enough to just be there as the chaser is. They are resentful of the twin flame journey in general. As the chaser heals in separation, it is much easier to blame another than submit to control. What happens in this situation, however, is that the chaser, feeling out of control, begins to feel their core karmic lesson of either self-love or self-worth. And though the resentment boils on the surface, it's nothing in comparison to the true heart of the matter, which is that the chaser doesn't think they're worth anything, or that they don't think they're lovable. This triggering of the core karmic lesson now makes the chaser chase. And when the runner does not respond in kind, the chaser has the propensity to build more and more resentment as their feeling of lack of control continues to grow. So how do we move forward from here? Well, the first step is always acknowledgement. Anytime you feel resentment, acknowledge that it's a feeling of lack of control. Now, if you've paid attention to the last bullet point in this video, both the runner and the chaser are blaming the other for their lack of control. Hence, why resentment builds. But no other ego is ever in control of you or your emotions. They may trigger you, but they are not in control of them. You are the only person who is in control of your own emotions, and therefore are the only person responsible for them. If you are feeling resentment towards your twin or anyone else, you are not focusing on yourself. You are focusing on someone or something external to yourself, and there is no possible way that your ego can ever feel control when it comes to anything external. If you're feeling resentment, you need to focus on yourself. So what does this look like? It looks like writing down everything that you feel resentful about regarding the specific situation and understanding that it's your own feeling of lack of control. It's then about going through the situation with a pen and paper and seeing the areas in which you did have control. When a runner runs, they're not doing it out of nowhere. When a chaser chases, they're not doing it out of nowhere. You had control over some element of the situation, so it's best to figure out what so that you can let go of the external resentment. To go back to expectations, what expectations did you have of the twin? Were they really necessary to keep you safe? Or were they expectations that your ego created because it would cover the core karmic lesson up and you wouldn't have to deal with it for a while? Lack of control is scary, but we don't have to consistently pile on extra layers of protection that in the end not only don't serve us, but make it more difficult for us to heal. The other ego is never the problem. It's always your ego that needs taming because you are the only thing and are creating everything around you, both with your perception via the ego and through universal energy. Until next week, all of my best and highest vibrations to you.